Um, Firstly, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Sios. I will be your chair for the plate final. Firstly, congratulations to all teams for making it this far. It was an incredible road to get to here, and I would consider yourselves proud because this is an opportunity that you have taken that no one else can take from you. I would say that you guys ought to be proud for that. Nonetheless, let's get to business. A couple of reminders first. 4 questions will be as follows. Please prepare your Word documents and to copy paste so you wouldn't have to go back to the breakout rooms to prep for your summary speeches. Let's keep our POIs to a respectable level. Kindly have like 5 seconds of a delay to your next point of information after raising another one, should you be rejected for the point of information, just so we can give a little bit of breathing room for the speaker. Thirdly, yeah, let's try to keep things civil and be courteous to one another, both in etiquette and both in our speeches as well. So, without further ado, I'd like to begin the debate with emotion. This House prefers an altruistic career over earning to give. To formally begin the debate, I'd like to invite the first speaker of side proposition to begin the debate with their speech. You're here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, I will begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Imagine a world where your work directly shapes society's future, where every decision you make tackles the problems that matters most. Now, contrast that with a life spent in a high-paying job, donating part of your income to charity. Both claim to make a difference, but one offers real immediate impact. This house believes that an altruistic career where you actively solve societal challenges holds greater value than earning to give because it creates not just financial support, but direct hands-on change. Good day, respected proposition, opposition, and of course, our honorable judge. My name is Melody, and I'm the first speaker of the proposition team. And as the first speaker, I'll be discussing on the topic how choosing an altruistic career allows for a direct impact, as well as a higher rate of intrinsic fulfillment. Our second speaker will be discussing on how an altruistic career gives people an opportunity to address neglected areas of our society. And our third speaker will be speaking on how our path in an altruistic career can build long-term relationships. Firstly, let's define parameters. As mentioned in the information slide, an altruistic career is a career where an individual directly works to address societal issues such as in healthcare, education, or social services, with the aim of creating tangible hands-on change. And earning to give, we define it as a career focused on earning a high income, often in lucrative fields like law or finance, with the primary goal of donating a significant portion of that income to charity. When we say we prefer an altruistic career, we propose an altruistic career with its direct involvement in societal improvement is more valuable than earning to give. Now, imagine waking up each morning knowing that your work is directly shaping the world for the better. That you're not just sitting behind a desk or calculating numbers, you're out there, whether in a hospital, a classroom, or a community center, actively making a difference. The lives you touch are real. The problems you solve are tangible. Every small step you take leads to immediate, visible change. Change you can see, change you caused. This is what an altruistic career offers. Direct impact. You don't rely on intermediaries or donations to feel the weight of your contribution. The change you bring about is immediate and deeply personal. In contrast, earning to give relies on donating money, where the impact is often less tangible and diluted by layers of charity organizations. The change is not as direct or personal. Yes, you've donated money, but how much of the impact can you actually witness? The charity may show you statistics, photos, and other documents, but how does that compare to actually seeing the change yourself? In contrast, earning to give often lacks this level of personal engagement. See, my aunt works as a doctor in a public government clinic, providing healthcare to undeserved communities or underrepresented communities. While she should have chosen a higher paying job and donated her earnings, she finds greater fulfillment in directly helping those in need. The impact she makes is visible every day, whether saving lives or offering crucial care. Unlike earning to give, where the focus is on financial donations, her work allows her to engage in hands-on in solving societal issues, creating a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. POI accepted.
If you argue that altruistic careers are more fulfilling, but shouldn't the focus be on measurable outcomes rather than personal satisfaction?
You can still get measurable outcomes from being in an altruistic career. Again, I mentioned my aunt. She's able to see the people through hospital statistics. She's able to see the levels of people healthy and the levels of people not healthy. So yes, an altruistic career you can still see the change that you bring about, because like just because you're pursuing an altruistic career doesn't mean that statistics aren't there. To continue with my point, an altruistic career is not just about professional success. It's about aligning your deepest values with your everyday work. It offers something more profound than financial donations, intrinsic fulfillment. It allows you to wake up every day with a sense of purpose, knowing that you're not just contributing money, but contributing yourself, your skills, and your passion to make a difference. This is where real satisfaction lies. Not in the amount of money you give, but in the lives you touch, the challenges you solve, and the communities you transform. In earning to give, you have to make money, a lot of it. To be able to provide for yourself and others, you need money. This often leads to individuals to pursuing high-paying, demanding jobs that may not align with their personal values. While the financial rewards are substantial, the work itself can feel unfulfilling because it's driven by the need to earn, not a passion to make a difference. The pressure to accumulate wealth can create a sense of disconnect, leaving individuals feeling empty despite their success. Long hours and stress may also lead to burnout, diminishing the sense of purpose. In contrast, an altruistic career offers personal fulfillment because the work itself is meaningful, directly contributing to societal good. To bring up my aunt again, she's also the reason I want to become a doctor. In an altruistic career, you can directly inspire people to be the change you want to see in the world. And her work allows her to be, hands-on on societal issues. So to summarize my point, I ask you to imagine this, a life where your career is not just a means to an end, but a breathing testament to the change you wish to see in the world. This is why we prefer the altruistic career over earning to give. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. I'd now like to give the leader of opposition, or the first speaker of opposition, the opportunity to give the first clash with their speech. Here.
Judges ready, opponents ready, time starts now. Greetings, everyone. My name is Arjan, and I'm the first speaker for the opposition side of today's debate. Today, we strongly negate today's resolution. This House prefers an altruistic career over earning to give. For this debate, we'd like to additionally provide a definition for prefer. Prefer is about selecting the option that maximizes outcomes, efficiency, and scalability, rather focusing solely on personal satisfaction or traditional notions of altruism. Today, I'll be presenting 3 arguments. The first one being broader impact through financial leverage, the second one being specialization in resource generation, and the third one being greater economic efficiency. To expand on our first argument, the earning to give approach allows individuals to a much broad impact through financial contributions that then they could achieve in a single altruistic career. This strategy leverages the power of wealth generation to address large-scale societal issues, offering a level of scalability that is unattainable for most hands-on professions. There are 2 key aspects to the argument: scalability and flexibility of allocation. High-income earners in fields like finance or technology can donate hundreds or thousands of millions of dollars over their careers. These funds can support global initiatives such as malaria prevention through the distribution of bed nets, vaccination campaigns, or disaster relief. Such large-scale interventions can save or significantly improve thousands, even millions of lives, far exceeding what one person could achieve directly in a single altruistic profession like healthcare or teaching. Now let's consider the multiplier effect. Financial contributions to effective charities often have a multiplier effect. Let's take donating to an organization like Against Malaria Foundation. With not only funds, the immediate provision of mosquito nets would contribute to long-term public health benefits, such as reduced healthcare costs and improved economic productivity in malaria-prone regions. POI accepted.
I would just like to ask, isn't there a risk in constantly shifting the focus to effectiveness that this will dilute the support that is supposedly given by earning?
Could you please rephrase the question?
Isn't prioritizing effectiveness going to dilute the amount of support that's provided by this earning to give career?
No, it will not dilute. In fact, we're going to maximize how much we can provide both to altruistic careers and with earning to give careers. Moving on, charitable organizations are typically run by experts who specialize in maximizing the impact of every dollar received. By earning and donating, individuals enable these organizations to implement well-researched, highly efficient programs that can far surpass the direct contributions of any one altruistic career. Can one individual in an altruistic career truly save as many lives as funding programs that impact thousands and millions through strategic financial contributions? Now let's consider flexibility of allocation. Financial contributions offer unparalleled flexibility. High earners can redirect their giving to address the most urgent and impactful causes as they arise, such as natural disasters, pandemic, or sudden humanitarian crises. This adaptability ensures that resources are allocated to the areas where they're needed most at any given time. Now let's contrast this with altruistic careers. While altruistic careers undoubtedly contribute to societal well-being, their impact is often constrained by time and physical limits. A teacher or doctor can only help a finite number of people within their lifetime. Their reach, though, significantly is inherently capped. Local focus. Most altruistic careers serve specific communities or populations, leaving broader global issues untouched. For instance, a healthcare worker in one city cannot directly influence healthcare outcomes in another country. If altruistic professions often rely on charitable funding to function, doesn't that make earning to give an essential backbone for their success? In summary, earning to give offers a scalable and flexible method of making a difference. It enables individuals to transcend the natural limitations of time, geography, and expertise, contributing to the systematic solutions that are often inaccessible to hands-on altruistic career. This breadth of impact makes earning to give a powerful and in many cases superior approach to creating a meaningful change. In the opposition world, we recognize the importance of altruistic careers, but we simply prefer earning to give over it for all the reasons stated above. Now, moving on to the second and third contentions. The earning to give approach maximizes the use of individual strengths and expertise by allowing people to specialize in careers where they can generate substantial financial resources, which can then be redistributed to support impactful cases. In our world, we're able to harness individual strength and maximize talent. Not everyone is equally skilled or passionate about direct altruistic work, such as teaching. For example, someone with exceptional analytical skills might thrive as an investment banker or a data scientist, but struggle with hands-on work. Pursuing a high-paying career aligned with their ability allows individuals to excel professionally while creating a channel for meaningful contributions through philanthropy. Thank you. With this, I conclude my speech.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your speech, First Speaker Bob. I'd now like to invite the second speaker for Prop to extend Prop's case.
All right, is my mic audible?
Yep,
Is, oh,
it's good to go. No
yep,
more
all right. Okay, that's great. I'll be starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening to everybody. I am the second speaker of the proposition side, and we strongly agree with the motion that this House prefers an altruistic career over an earning to give career. First, before expanding on my points, I would like to start by rebutting the opposition side. The opposition side continues to state about measurable outcomes, but fails to see how in charities, money doesn't directly get funded to the source. It gets diluted over many charities. So how can you guarantee that the money in earning to give will directly address these root problems? The opposition side continues to also state about maximizing earning to give. Well, how would you propose this maximizing earning to give when, as stated out by our first speaker, altruistic methods of life have proved successful? Now, I would also like to state how the opposition continues to expand on the global limitations of altruistic careers. Wouldn't having more people in an altruistic career mean that we would have more direct change in the world, thus neglecting these limitations? Now, I'd like to enter into my points. Imagine a world where the forgotten are now remembered, a world where the silent struggles of neglected communities are acknowledged but actively addressed. This is the world that the altruistic career strive to build. A world where compassion is not an afterthought, but a guiding principle. My point will be addressing the areas which are overlooked by charities. When we think of charity, it's often about the big names and high-profile causes. But what about the child in a remote village who walks miles every day just to fetch water? What about the refugees who have lost their home, but their voices? What about the diseases so rare it doesn't make the headlines? These are the stories we don't hear, the faces we don't see, the cries that often go unanswered. POI accepted.
Many altruistic careers, such as teaching or social work, rely on external funding to operate. And in your world, how would these careers be financially sustainable?
Well, there are methods such as financial aid present, aren't there? If we push the altruistic career methods, which provide direct change, we can obviously get financial aid, which can push these careers further. And now I'd like to go back to my points. That's where altruistic careers step in. That's where you can make a true change. Unlike earning to give, where donations might get lost in bureaucracy or follow fleeting trends, an altruistic career takes change straight to the place. When you dedicate your life to an altruistic cause, you focus on what truly matters, the people, the places, and the world that is left behind. You have the power to tackle the problems at the root of suffering, not just donating to treat their symptoms. And perhaps most importantly, you offer something money cannot buy: your presence, your care, and your humanity. So I ask you, what legacy will you leave? Will it be a donation, a sum of money written up in a ledger? POI accepted.
Could you specify where the financial aid for altruistic careers would come from?
Well, there are obviously many methods for this to come, is there not? We can use certain government fundings through taxes, which push these altruistic methods. And now I'd like to return back to my speech. Think of a teacher who chooses to work in a forgotten rural community, bringing hope to children who've never dared to dream. Think of a doctor who travels to undeserved areas, healing not just bodies, but entire communities. These are not just professions. These are acts of love, courage, and unwavering commitment. So I ask you, what legacy will you leave? Will it be a donation, a sum of money just written up in a ledger? Or will it be the lives you've touched, the face that light up because you have showed up, the communities transformed because you have dared to care? The world does not need more wealth. It needs more people. The forgotten are waiting, and with an altruistic career, you have more chance to be seen, heard, and valued. Together, let us build a better future where no one is left behind. Let us pick an altruistic path. Thank you for your time.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much for that speech. I'd now like to invite the second speaker for side opposition to begin and extend Ops case.
Judges ready, opponents are ready. My timer starts now. Hello, everyone. My name is Marilee. I'm the second speaker of the opposition side, and we stand firmly against this motion. The proposition argues that altruistic careers provide direct, hands-on change and are personally fulfilling and avoid reliance on intermediaries. But when we measure these claims against the harsh realities of global challenges, their arguments falter. And let me explain why. First of all, proposition claims that altruistic careers allow for a direct impact because individuals are engaged hands-on in addressing societal problems. While this is valuable, it is also inherently limited in scale. An individual teacher can educate a classroom. An individual doctor can treat a few patients daily. However, someone earning to give through a high-paying career in technology, finance, or entrepreneurship, etc., can fund initiatives that empower thousands, if not millions. In a world where systemic issues like poverty, like climate change, and global health crises require large-scale solutions, financial leverage maximizes this impact. One individual's salary strategically donated can do more to alleviate suffering than hands-on engagement ever could. Second of all, proposition argues that altruistic careers are more personal and allow for direct fulfillment. But altruism, at its core, is not about the personal, it is about the global good. Specialization is key here. Pursuing a high-paying career allows individuals to specialize in generating resources while empowering organizations already specialized in addressing societal issues, as mentioned by our first speaker, Arjan. Would you expect a surgeon to build hospitals, negotiate supply chains, and manage global healthcare policies? No, POI later. Specialization allows surgeons to focus on saving lives while relying on the resources provided by others. Earning to Give operates the same way. It funds experts and institutions already equipped to deliver impactful change. Third of all, proposition claims that Earning to Give relies on intermediaries, which may dilute this impact. Later, POI. This assumes that intermediaries are inherently inefficient, but the reality can be opposite. Effective altruism principles ensure that donations go to highly vetted and impactful causes. Organizations can research charities rigorously, ensuring that every dollar contributes directly to saving lives. By contrast, altruistic careers often face systemic inefficiencies. Public sector jobs and nonprofit work, while noble, are frequently underfunded. And we can take into example the Bill Gates Foundation, impacting millions and millions of people. POI?
So, and how will you be able to convince individuals to run for jobs which have high amounts of money? Won't they want to do jobs which they want to do instead of trying to get jobs which are profitable?
In our world, we're not telling people to not do the jobs that they want, but in our world, we want to translate our principles that by earning more money to invest in these sectors that help altruistic careers to keep on being pursued by, we value this in our world. Plus, I would like to rebut on the alternative solution provided by the opposition on taxes. Taxes, don't they burden the civilians? Don't they burden the people? With increased taxes, the people are more burdened financially, and we wouldn't want this in our world. The proposition has also stated that altruistic careers provide greater value through direct change. Direct change is undeniably important, but it lacks the scalability of earning to give. While a social worker might improve lives in their community project, earning to give provides the resources for systemic reforms, funding education, healthcare, and climate action on a global scale. The global crises we face today, poverty, hunger, disease, and climate change, require strategies that maximize outcomes and efficiency for the greater good of all our people. While altruistic careers have their place, earning to give offers broader impact, leverages financial resources effectively, and empowers systemic change. If we're serious about solving the world's most pressing problems, we must focus not on how altruistic careers feel, but on what actually works. Because the greater altruism isn't about personal fulfillment, it's about saving as many lives as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. I'd now like to invite the third speaker of proposition to begin the third speaker exchange with their speech.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, boss.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I would like to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Arnav Jayakrishan from British School Muscat, and we strongly agree with the motion that altruistic careers are better compared to earning to give careers. Now, I would like to start with my rebuttals. The opposition says that they will have a lot of wealth, so they can just give all of their wealth to these charities. Now, as you know, many charities are often fraudulent scams, routing this well-intentioned money to charities like Save the Children, which was a scam. Sorry, Save the Kids, which was a fraudulent scam designed to appear like Save the Children and routed almost $1 million in public money into a money laundering scheme. Now, the opposition also stated that people can have wealth to give it away. Now, isn't it problematic to allow individuals with wealth to have a disproportionate influence over systemic change? I would like to start with my point now. POI accepted.
So these charities are fraudulent or scams. Are you saying we shouldn't donate to charity at all?
Can you repeat your POI? I didn't hear you in the first bit.
If you're saying that charities are fraudulent and scams, are you saying we shouldn't donate to charities at all? Are you discrediting charities?
Again, I stated that many charities are, not all of them. It's much harder to enforce the policing of all of these charities, which makes it much harder for the money to be wired into great places and help people. Now, I'd like to continue with my point. Building strong, long-term relationships with the communities we aim to serve is a cornerstone of an altruistic career. Unlike distant financial contributions, working directly in altruistic fields allows individuals to connect to the people they are helping, creating bonds rooted in trust, empathy, and mutual understanding. These relationships ensure that solutions are not only effective but culturally sensitive and tailored to the unique needs of the community. A great example of community collaboration as well is with the work of altruistic workers. These professionals don't just provide treatment, they engage with communities to educate them on preventative care. For example, in the healthcare industry, it would be sanitation, nutrition, and disease prevention. Through building trust and fostering lasting relationships, they empower locals to adopt self sustaining health practices, ensuring long term benefits even after the health workers leave. This collaborative approach, rooted in local knowledge and involvement, creates lasting change far beyond what financial aid could achieve. These connections could also foster accountability. Unlike financial donations that may lack direct oversight, hands on work trust builds trust within the community and ensures collaboration. When the people being served feel valued and understood, they are more likely to actively participate in shaping and sustaining the solutions that impact their own lives. Take social workers, for example, who not only offer support but also empower local communities to take charge of their own future. Moreover, the sustainability of these efforts sets altruistic careers apart. While financial contributions can be impactful, they often depend on the ongoing availability of funds. In contrast, the relationships and trust cultivated in altruistic fields leave behind a legacy that endures. An altruistic career also inspires future generations. When a child sees a teacher, a doctor, or a healthcare worker dedicated to uplifting their community, it creates role models who demonstrate the power of direct action. Now, I would like to conclude my speech by saying, while financial contributions are valuable, they lack the depth and the durability that comes from hands on engagement. Altruistic careers go beyond solving immediate problems. They create sustainable, meaningful change that by building relationships, empowering communities, and inspiring future generations. This is the kind of impact that transforms lives and drives true progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. I'd now like to invite the third speaker for up to give theirs.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alina, and I'll be the third speaker for the opposition side. So first, I would like to address some of the key clashes that have appeared throughout this debate. First of all, the proposition side has several times argued that certain charity organizations are fraudulent and may dilute money that is being funded. However, first of all, we would like to highlight that while some fraudulent organizations exist, the vast majority of reputable charities are transparent and accountable. Rigorous oversight, independent audits, and accreditation systems exist to identify and eliminate fraudulent charities. And even then, fraud is not inherent to charity. It is a problem of poor oversight. Donors can mitigate this by researching and supporting well-vetted organizations rather than abandoning philanthropy altogether. For example, UNICEF and UN charity organizations are well-supported official charities that can be trusted by funding donors. Now, another clash points that I would like to address is the impact of fulfillment, impact over fulfillment. So the proposition side said that by having direct hands-on impact, you are getting more fulfillment, and this can inspire the communities to be more involved. However, first of all, this is not isolated just for the pro world. In our con world, people can still get this fulfillment by donating to all of these organizations. For example, high earners who give significantly can still feel fulfilled by knowing their contributions save lives or provide resources to those in need. For example, someone funding the building of schools across a region can feel proud of their role in expanding access to education. Yes, I would like to accept a POI.
How can you ensure that large-scale initiatives supported by donations are addressing the root problems and not just temporarily treating symptoms?
Well, because I would actually highlight this issue. First of all, when you're an independent donor, you can make the decision of you have the flexibility of making the decision which issue relies on funding the most, and therefore you can direct your funding towards that. And earlier you said that we don't necessarily need to rely on individuals for funding. We can earn it from governments. However, there could be an issue of bureaucracy. For example, private donations can be developed quickly and flexibly without delays associated with government processes like legislation or budget approvals. Additionally, with governments, they have several priorities that need to be addressed and can be impacted ideologically. However, with individual founders, this issue is not necessarily present because of flexibility. I hope that answers your question. Now, another example that I would like to provide is that the debate should not focus on just personal fulfillment. It should focus on maximizing impact. And we're not saying that, oh, individuals should not just be altruistic and should not participate in these jobs. No, this is good. However, when we're talking about preference, we need to look at outcomes, efficiency, and scalability. For example, a teacher may impact 30 students per year, but someone earning to give can fund educational programs that benefit thousands. So let's look at the scalability. I would like to reject the POI. So then, therefore, you also mentioned future generations can be more inspired by individuals. However, how are these future generations going to have any impact if they don't have the necessary finances? For example, coming back to the Bill Gates organization that was mentioned by Speaker 2 Merrily, the Bill Gates organizations has been able to support funding for millions across the globe, a level that impact that would be impossible through a single altruistic career. Additionally, it has supported healthcare and providing the necessary systems used for maybe lower income countries that may not necessarily have access to those resources. Yes, I would like to accept a POI.
You've previously stated on how there would be delays in the government. Well, wouldn't charity work actually work slower than altruist work, as altruist work you're doing on hand?
Could you rephrase? Because so how I
Yeah,
understand, you
okay.
said so charity work may be slower than altruistic work because by altruistic work you're addressing the position heads on. But isn't the person who's working for the thing is usually under a charity organization, or for example, a teacher or an educator? Wouldn't you want to fund things that impact thousands and overall organizations, just one single individual making the effort? I mean, as I mentioned earlier, by funding these charities, we can improve the resource allocation and we can improve individuals having the access to have better impact. If they don't have this access in the first place, how are they meant to have that impact? So overall, I would like to conclude the speech by reinforcing our three key contentions. First of all, there's broader impact. Instead of just focusing on your own self-fulfillment, you're focusing on broader impact, and this is necessary for our world. I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful speech. We will be beginning the floor question portion of the debate. Give me a second. Okay, for the floor questions, again, if it is a prop floor question, prop ought to answer it. If it is an op floor question, op answers it. Okay, you all will be given 3 minutes to, you know, to have tactic what this is likely going to look like in the summary speech. Breakout rooms are now open. Good luck, everyone. Okay, I assume everyone is here. To formally begin the summary portion of the debate, I'd like to invite the opposition summary speaker to give their speech.
Opponents ready, sorry. Opponents ready, judges ready. My time starts now. Hi, everyone. My name is Taisia, and I'll be the fourth and final speaker for the opposition side of this debate. So first of all, I'll start off by addressing the questions posed to us on the floor by the judge, and then I'll elaborate on the key clashes that were established in this debate and elaborate why the opposition side wins these clashes. So the first question that was posed to us was, doesn't earning allow individuals to... How does it create... Oh, pardon. The first question posed to us was, how do you respond to the argument that pursuing a high-earning career can maximize one's ability to fund effective charities? Oh, how does a career provide direct means of impact? Pardon, 1 second. Okay, the first question posed to us was, could pursuing a career to give inspire others to prioritize social good? However, as rebutted by our third speaker, Alina, even if we're not saying that careers to give should be abolished completely, no, they should exist. However, by having these earning to give careers, people who earn a lot of money can finance these people who would like to pursue this career, we're able to scale our impact better. And as we have defined in our very first speech, as Arjan has defined in her very first speech, prefer is about selecting the option that maximizes outcomes, efficiency, and scalability, rather than focusing solely on personal satisfaction or traditional notions of altruism. So in other words, the global perspective that has the most impact in order to achieve the highest possible change and the highest possible impact in terms of altruism. We have rebutted this contention multiple times by saying that in order to pursue these careers, people would need financing in order to pursue this education to become a doctor, for instance. For example, in Kazakhstan, in our country, there was a problem of giving scholarships to students who required them in order to pursue university. However, a millionaire in our country, Pavel Durov, he managed to fund these scholarships instead of the government. So by having these financial resources, we're able to fund these opportunities for people to pursue careers that they want, to pursue altruistic careers that they want, which is essential in order to achieve maximized altruism. Furthermore, the second floor question posed to us was, how does a career to give provide direct meaningful impact that may be more fulfilling than simply having an altruistic career? As we have stated previously, we're able to choose where we want to direct our finances if we are in an earning to give career, for instance. We're able to direct a change on a high global impact and impact more people that way. We are able to donate to charities who then further direct their resources in order to help people. And when you're in a position of funding a funding organization, you obviously don't want to throw your money away into thin air. Donors are encouraged to research their charities on the issue and be conscious of the decisions they make. Furthermore, the charities that these large-scale donors donate to are already established, such as UNICEF and UN, as we have previously brought in our third speaker's speech. And with this, I'd like to conclude my speech. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that speech. To give us the final speech of the tournament, I'd like to invite the proposition summary speaker. Here.
I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Imagine a world where the community is one, collaborating in a form of unity through societal work, revolutionizing the area one at a time. Don't you want that feeling of pride and dignity as you know that your devotion of time to these activities are changing the landscape of the area day by day? Hello, everyone. My name is Divyansh. I'm the fourth speaker of the proposition team, and we strongly support the motion that this House prefers an altruistic career over earning to give. Now, firstly, I'd like to address the floor questions. Firstly, for the first floor question, supporting a wider range of causes at one time with funds can often dilute the change that you're making with these funds. However, an altruistic career can concentrate your time and make your change even more noticeable. And for the second floor question, let me ask your audience, how many people have high earning jobs? High earning jobs are extremely hard to get, and at the end, and to often reach salaries which can actually make noticeable change, are extremely hard to get. So, audience and opposition, how can you demand individuals to reach these high-paying jobs, as not many people have the same amount of education as other people? Now, I'd like to summarize what my team has stated today. Our first argument, stated by our first speaker, Melody, was that direct impact and fulfillment simply makes us prefer altruistic careers over earning to give. As an altruistic career helps you succeed in your job, motivating you throughout your work life. It also provides you with an intrinsic fulfillment, which earning to give just cannot do. It offers you a tangible impact when you know what you have done and you can see what you have changed. Audience, do you not want to see that with your own eyes? And the opposition also continues to state how people will donate. But there is no guarantee that people will donate, as greed and money can change people. And how can you expect someone with a high salary job to donate all of their money to charity? Our second speaker, Advan, has stated that addressing neglected areas, this is what altruistic careers can do. You often don't know much about areas which are often not seen in media. And the money in earning can often be submerged in bureaucracy and trends. You don't have the ability to directly choose what you want to change. You can be the change you want to see in altruistic careers instead of funding the change. Your presence is unmatched. Thus, why would he simply fund change when he can actually be in that place? The opposition also mentions the auditing of charities in order to make them more trustworthy. But who does the auditing? People and jobs who need to be paid. So I'd like to conclude. Me, the fourth speaker of the proposition team, strongly supports the motion that altruistic career is better over earning to give.
Thank you very much for your speech. Congratulations, everyone, for making it to the plate final. I would first like to say that congratulations once again for really participating here in COBIS. Kindly give me around 5 minutes to just submit the ballot, and I'll give you the decision later on. You may interact with anyone here in the room while you wait. Congratulations once again. All right, kindly turn on your cameras, everyone. I will be beginning the decision. The ballot has been submitted, and we have a winner for the plate final. First and foremost, I'm going to first discuss who the best speaker for the plate final is. This will not be announced later on in the awarding, but I will give credit where credit is due. Secondly, I will not, let you suffer with the tension any longer and give you the decision afterwards. And then finally, a discussion why I felt this team won over the other team. Firstly, the best speaker for the plate final. First and foremost, if you are the plate finals best speaker, it doesn't mean that you are from the winning nor the losing side. You are simply the best speaker for the plate final. And the best speaker for the plate final is none other than the first speaker of opposition. Congratulations. If you would like me to elaborate on that, you may do so, but the decision and the reasons why I felt this team won over the other team takes precedence. Firstly, the decision. After careful consideration, where everything was considered holistically, I have decided to give the win to side opposition, to earning to give. Congratulations, side opposition, and commiserations to side proposition. It was still a job well done, and I wouldn't have had this final any other way than you guys presenting what you guys did. I will first discuss why I felt like this is a opposition win over the prop win. First and foremost, I'd like to discuss on what the key values that were discussed were. I think in side proposition, where side proposition argued for the visibility that comes with actually being able to work in these institutions rather in organizations. And number two, you being able to have the ability to scale it yourself. Thirdly, you wouldn't be, although this was mentioned very, very briefly in the dying moments of Melody's speech, it is still counted, such as the burnout that you feel from actually working a job you wouldn't enjoy because you would far more prefer to do the actual things that you want to do in the career instead of actually just focusing on a high paying job. In contrast to that, opposition focus on the value of maximizing your capability as a person and maximizing the amount of impact you're able to give to the world by contributing the funds that are necessary for making sure these charities are able to do and solve the problems you want to be able to solve as a person who prefers not to do that sort of career and focus on a high paying job instead. So broadly, why are these three things like in comparison to one another skewing over to opposition side? I think the first metric that we need to talk about is the clarity that comes from all of the speakers' cases. I think why opposition offers a more clear case to me is I felt like in proposition, it was unclear to me how you as a person who chooses to work in these institutions as an educator or for example as a person who chooses to become a social worker or to prefer to go into these charities as yourself, I felt like coming from that they weren't able to exclusively explain why this is exclusive to side proposition, because inside opposition they offer like a lot of reasons for why you would still be able to provide an impact by being able to provide the money for these institutions. I felt like it is clearer on their side because it was clearer that even if you are able to allocate money to them by not being there physically and actually doing the job, you're still allowing other people the same amount of credence with the funds that you are able to give, that you would be able to provide solace. I think it's clearer to me that you're able to have that kind of thing as a non-exclusive benefit to side proposition as what proposition would argue for. But secondly, I also felt like in opposition, you have the issue of solvency as well, which is you actually being able to manifest the kinds of benefits or harms you were trying to argue for. So in opposition argues for the mass scale and flexibility that allows you to make sure that these institutions are able to get the direct sources of funds that they wouldn't. So while I agree inside proposition that you are able to feel and witness the entire process of change actually happening, so that is an exclusive benefit for this particular issue or this particular criteria on solvency, and you're able to do so. But opposition disagrees that even if you are going to make some changes we will outweigh that by saying that you're able to make broader changes because you're now funding these particular charities on a better scale as opposed to if you would do it yourself. So the solvency comes here from the funds that comes directly from side proposition in terms of government funding that they were able to provide. Yes, you're able to have direct control and you're able to have direct recognition coming from government sources and other kinds of private donors for the cause that you're trying to do. You have that same control, or you have a better control of it, as opposed to letting charities do the work for you and you just providing the funds. I accepted that coming from side proposition. What side opposition offers as a response, though, is that they were able to respond that government funds and other kinds of donations often take a large amount of bureaucracy to be able to be delivered. And thus, you wouldn't have the same amount of flexibility, nor would you have the same amount of urgency that comes from actually solving the job. So, if you, as a person, might not be able to participate in the actual direct negotiations with government agencies and other institutions, you are at least able to urgently meet the needs of the charity of your choice to be able to make sure that these changes actually happen once the funds that is needed by that charity is actually needed. So I don't see a reason why I shouldn't give this particular metric to side opposition as well. Going further into the third important criteria, and it was in the dying moments of Prime Minister's speech or First Speaker prop speech, which was basically there is a sudden tendency for meaningful creation in the form of you being able to actually do the thing that you want to do. And by doing the higher career, you do feel burnout, you do feel tense. I was able to still credit that particular portion. But the reason why I couldn't credit it to outweigh what opposition side says is that opposition disagrees that the only way for you to have a meaningful connection to your own life comes from directly being able to contribute. I think what opposition then provides as a metric to outweigh this is you as a person being able to create far more impact. So the last criteria is where are you as a person far more fulfilled in the long run and in the short run in terms of you being able to create an impact. So while I agree in proposition that you might not feel as fulfilled in terms of being burnt out, kind of felt like this was underdeveloped in terms of an argument because the response coming here from opposition is still clear that you do have impacts, that you do still feel solace if you're able to manifest those changes through providing for the charities that make the meaningful work meaningful. And therefore, by substitution, you are also feeling fulfilled at the same time. So for all of those reasons and the criterias that are given, I would still say that I am proud of each and every speaker here for being able to raise their voice. Communities often around the world are being silenced for various reasons. It is platforms like this tournament and you guys that make the change in the world possible. So whether you're choosing a career to give or an altruistic career, know that you are making a change in the small corners in the world where you're living right now. So with that said, thank you very much, everyone. If there are any final questions or concerns, I'm gonna answer them right now if that's all right. Okay, therefore hearing none, kindly head into the awarding room. I think the final is still ongoing, I think. But and then after the final, they're gonna have the awarding. So congratulations, everyone. Job well done. Please continue debating.